What up, Butler Beats? This is AJ Pace with Palmetto Percussion, and I'll be adjudicating you guys in the caption of percussion performance today. Wish you guys the best of luck. Looks like you're still setting up. Have a fantastic show, and I'll be back with you when you're ready to start. Throw down, boys and girls. All right, Butler Beats, do it up. Have some fun. All right. So initial thoughts. We look pretty good. We're standing relatively well. Pretty good posture from the battery. Front ensemble. We need to see some of your faces though. Some cool sounds coming out of the synthesizer. Let's keep it up. Keep adding to it. I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now, Pit. Just be aware that when a band takes the field, that you are the first face we see. When I look at a band, I see your face, I see guard face, but you see you guys first. So it's important you perform and project yourself upwards. You affect not only the music caption, but also the visual caption. Sample so far, but how can we connect those? How can we do more with them? They're very short and punchy, especially that one. I didn't really understand with the dark voice. So feel free to bump those up. Yeah, I'm just not quite hearing these. Definitely beef up the sound quality. Yeah, timing the feet is not good in the back right now, quads. I gotta make sure we're communicating, agreeing where the pulse is. Alright, not a bad start, guys. Got some good moments going on. Yeah, snares, it's thick, guys. Just make sure we understand the pulse, and we're really committing ourselves to playing rhythms in time. Alright guys, not bad, not bad. Let's make sure we're checking our facing right now, bass drums. Make sure we're all agreeing where the end zone is. It was a good release from that phrase, but getting into that phrase was still a little thick. So it's really important that we really push through together and understand we have to match and blend across the whole section, because unisons are only effective when they're balanced and together. Front ensemble's got some good stuff going on as well, especially some of these wood runs, but I would definitely beef up the sound of those things. Hopefully they're mic'd. If they're not mic'd, we need to get them mic'd and or get them a little harder of a mount. There's good stuff going on, but I'm just losing it in the sound quality. Oh, snares. Come on, guys. And not bad. Make sure we're matching on these rim shots, though. Yeah, fantastic job on this triangle. Good for you, man. Four mallet technique is a little inconsistent across the board. You can tell who's new at this and who's done it for a little while. So really keep listening to your text and really trying to dive into the actual technique. I recommend you buy the Liedhauer Stevens book and just start diving in. If that's a technique you want to play, we've got to commit ourselves to it. Yeah, open these buzzes up, guys. They're too choked. Buzz, 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 buzz. Yeah. Much better snares. Good job, doubles to singles. Good work for you. Cued visual. Make sure we're rolling on the edges of these cymbals, guys. We're trying to roll on the bells, especially marimba player to my left. When are we stopping, snares? Where are our feet stopping? What are we doing? Yeah, not bad. Our double quality, especially in quad land, is still not where we want it. Both doubles have to be even. You got to make sure you're tributed and play the right sound, note to note. Bass drums, we need to spend some time checking our technique too. Forearms should be parallel to the ground. Mallet should be in the center of the head. Always adjust the drum to the center. Never move your arms to match it. But getting in the center of that drum's going to get a fatter sound. That's what we need. Snares, you can't give up on shots. We're blowing through phrases. Dum schlock, dum tum tum. Yeah, compositionally thinking, we can be adding a lot of stuff in the front ensemble here. Maybe not melodic material, but definitely sound effects. You had me going in the beginning with these cool effects. Use them all the way through. That's an advantage you have that others aren't necessarily doing. The more you can do different electronically, it's just going to help you out. Yeah, technique is not uniform on the high end right now, especially snare drummer center 2 towards my right. He's using a little more muller on these shots as well, and everyone else is a little more staccato and rigid. So just make sure we're all buying into what the technique is and really going for it. Because until you have a unison technique and a unified approach, it's never going to be clean. So just something to think about. right, front, good little moment for you. Good moment. Still, I think beefing up the sound quality in the mix is going to help out a little bit. Good communication, thank you. Not a great attack, but good communication. It's important you watch through the preps. You have to watch through the first note. And right now you're watching to lift and then you're turning your heads away. So you have to project to each other and project up front. I'd turn the battery backfield here. You got to stop moving snares. Yeah, I would turn it backfield, that way I don't see any white. I would just, because right now, I know it's a visual comment out of caption, but I'm definitely, it's bothering me a little bit back there. Yeah, outer mallets are a little weak for us right now. They're sitting a little low. Good rule of thumb is if you try and scratch your hand with your middle and I guess your ring finger and your pinky finger, that's going to pull the outer mallet up. You want to make sure your thumb is on top and it's a wrist-oriented motion. And right now you're flattening your hand to get the outer mallet up, as opposed to just pulling the outer mallet up. Again, where are we rolling on these cymbals? What is our technique? See, that was an appropriate sound. That was cool. That fit really well. Yeah, timpani, you got to make sure you're blending to what you hear behind you. I know the tubas are a little splatty right now, but you've got to match their sound quality and their intonation. You are a tuba player at this moment. Just keep that in mind. You're supporting the low end of the ensemble. And speaking of low end, I would really beef up the electronics on the low end. It'll help fill out your sound a little bit. Let's also try and get the rack players a little nicer of a setup. I know we don't have that much to offer them, but just like balancing out, you know, evening the wind chimes out, lowering their suspended cymbal, just make it look a little more professional. I think, Garrett, you can handle a lot of that. Make sure we're releasing these cymbals together, guys. Yeah, good 16th, marimbas. I'd definitely looking to try and add xylophone in on some of these runs. You're losing a lot of articulation up front that I think would be nice with the xylophone. Vibe's doing a good job of lifting, except Vibe player in the back right. Downstroking a lot of this. Front two guys doing a great job. Back, let's make sure we're lifting and matching sound. Come on, snares. Yeah, there's no excuse to give up a triplet roll when you have 2 beats of check going into it. That check is your chance to make sure you're in time, then you just commit to that roll speed. So let's try our best to make sure we use the opportunities we've been given to really maximize clarity. Good communication from the front. Not bad, guys, not bad. I really wish we'd check each other out as we bring mallets down too. Check each other out, check up top. Hey, good preps from the center, fantastic, good for you. Very nice front ensemble. Now, how are you going to end the show? How are you going to end this? It was a nice little upwards waterfall. We got to the top of the keyboards, and then we just stood there. I mean, you've got to sell every bit of this. You are performance, you are visual. Just really keep that in mind. As you finish these runs, as you finish these moments, the moment's not done when you hit the last note. The moment is done when we relax at the end of the show. So you got to perform all the way to the very end. All right, Butler Beats, there's some good stuff going on. I'm going to try and recap a little bit for you. Snare's not our best run. I'm sure you've had some better stuff in you. We gave up a lot of little stuff. Some of it comes down to just uniformity of technique, but a lot of it comes down to just simple communication and really committing to what you've been asked to do. Quads has some good stuff going on. Check your zones and some stuff. I was getting some dead sounds on drums 3 and 4, but otherwise I thought you guys had a pretty good show. The bass drum tuning did not communicate well up top. I think maybe bringing the pitches up a little bit would help, and really making sure we're getting that little bit of thrust into the head at the last minute is going to help out. A good rule of thumb, battery, is bigger sounds are easier to clean and use. So just be aware that I feel like snares play with a really good sound, good energy, and I love the performance vibe you're giving off. You can definitely tell that a lot of you guys are buying in, but you can't let the hype affect the clarity, and I think that's what happened for a lot of this stuff. So just really pay attention to every detail, whether it's, you know, I'm going to hit this ping shot just behind the beat of the stick, and all 4 of us are going to do that. You got to buy into that kind of a level. So battery, I feel like we probably had some better runs in this, and I'm sure you have. I know you've got great instruction, so it's really important you apply that instruction. Tuning wise, I think it's pretty good. The snares are a little boxy to me up top. Maybe check out some experimenting with the bottom head, try and get a little clearer of a sound. I know drying them up a little bit will expose their errors even more, but it might be at that point where you're ready for it, just to really give them some exposure, because they're on the right track. That's great training. It's a cool book. I really dig everything that's going on. It just wasn't executed at the highest level. So maybe exposing them more is going to force them to really buy in and to really fight for clarity. Front ensemble had a lot of great stuff going on. My biggest beef with you is communication upwards. It was nice to see the prep system. It's nice to see you guys buying into each other, but how can you communicate up top? Keep checking out mallet selections. I think a little more articulate of a mallet at times during some of these runs I think would help, maybe doubling on the xylophone. I really dig that you guys were really trying to do the whole electronic sounds. That was cool. We should do more of it and really beef up those sounds. Try and find a professional that can help increase the quality of sound coming out of those. I think that's really going to help you. You're on the right track with the composition of the front ensemble, so good for you. Marimbas, I thought had a really pretty good show. Keep double checking the 4-mallet technique across the board. That was kind of, I guess, one of the weaker moments for us was checking out that technique. There's some downstroking going on at times, especially in 5 land, especially in the back. Rack players, keep committing. Realize that you are just as important. The concert bass is probably the hardest, most exposed part of the field. If you can nail your parts and be super confident, I think that's really going to help. And also checking to make sure the speakers, as well as the concert bass, is aimed at the press box. That's where you want the sound to go. You know, the electronics and the concert bass are the impact for the ensemble, for the whole band. So the more unified that is and the better sound quality that is, the more effective you're going to make everything else seem. Trying to think what else there was for you. Just check out a lot of the sounds we're using too. I think we can vary up some sounds in the back as well to try and not necessarily hide dirt, but find different ways to express ourselves. Maybe some brush textures, some things of that nature, exploring different realms of the drums itself. Other than that, guys, I thought it's a very cool show. It's very well written. I just don't think we performed to the best of our ability. So hopefully these comments have been helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And hopefully you guys see you tonight. And good job today, guys.